the Netflix movie that's rewriting history. Here's why fans can't stop watching. Imagine this: a neon-lit stage. A K-pop idol grips the mic, drenched in sweat, staring into the crowd. But instead of fans, the shadows ripple. Horns twist from the dark, and demons crawl out of the floor. The bass drops. The idols don't panic. They fight. Swords flash. Magic erupts. This isn't just another music video. It's K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's blowing up Netflix in a way no one saw coming. In less than a week, the movie is trending in 30 countries, climbing into Netflix's top 10 charts, and breaking records that even blockbuster Hollywood releases struggled to touch. It's not just a film, it's a cultural wave. And to understand why, we have to go deeper. Chapter 1: The Perfect Storm of Timing. Netflix, for all its data-driven decision-making, has always possessed an uncanny knack for cultural timing. But with K-pop Demon Hunters, it feels less like an algorithm and more like they've cracked a secret, alchemical formula for global domination. The film's explosive success is a masterclass in capitalizing on a convergence of powerful cultural forces. First, and most crucially, is the unstoppable ascendancy of K-pop. For more than a decade, the Hallyu wave has been building from a regional phenomenon into a global tsunami. Groups like BTS, Blackpink, Stray Kids, and New Jeans haven't just dominated music charts. They've redefined modern celebrity. They command stadium tours that sell out in minutes, deliver speeches at the United Nations, and serve as global ambassadors for luxury brands. The K-pop fandom is not a passive audience. It is a highly organized, digitally native, and fiercely loyal global community. These fans stream in coordinated numbers that can manipulate algorithms, mobilize online like a digital army, and elevate their idols from mere musicians into transcendent cultural icons. Now, picture the streaming landscape into which this film was born. Netflix, having set an impossibly high bar for itself with paradigm-shifting hits like Squid Game, has been desperately searching for the next global phenomenon. The platform was saturated with predictable, algorithm-approved rom-coms, overdone spy thrillers, and a slew of expensive but soulless Hollywood action flicks that vanished from the cultural conversation within a weekend. Viewers were experiencing streaming fatigue, scrolling endlessly through a sea of mediocrity. The market was not just ready for something new, it was starved for it. Netflix saw the opening. The question that must have been asked in their highest-level strategy meetings was a tantalizing one. What if they could harness the raw, explosive power of K-pop's global fanbase and fuse it with the kind of high-concept, genre-bending storytelling that appeals to universal audiences? That was the primordial seed of K-pop Demon Hunters. The release timing was nothing short of flawless. Dropping in the late summer, a period when streaming numbers traditionally spike, it landed in a strategic vacuum, free from major competing releases. Fans were hungry for a fresh cultural event after a season of blockbuster fatigue. Into this void came a neon-drenched, hyper-stylized fantasy epic that promised a wholly unique concoction. The addictive aesthetics of idol culture, the kinetic energy of anime-style demon battles, and the breakneck pacing of a 3-minute music video, all wrapped into one gloriously insane package. And it worked beyond anyone's wildest projections. Within a staggering 72 hours of its release, the movie had pulled in 21 million full views worldwide, boasting an unheard-of 94% completion rate. By the end of its first week, Netflix's own press release declared it the most-watched debut for any non-English language movie on the platform this year, shattering the record previously held by a critically acclaimed Spanish thriller. On social media, the reaction was a digital firestorm. Twitter hashtags like hashtag KPop Demon Hunters and hashtag #StanTheSlayers trended globally for days. TikTok feeds were completely flooded with fan edits, reaction videos, and lore explainers, collectively hitting billions of views overnight. But raw numbers alone cannot explain the depth of the obsession. The timing provided the launchpad, but it was the content itself that made it unstoppable. Chapter 2: The Fusion That Shouldn't Work. On paper, the premise of K-pop Demon Hunters sounds utterly, irredeemably ridiculous. World-famous pop idols slaying ancient demons in glittery, custom-made stage outfits, a globally beloved girl group fighting grotesque monsters in the hours between sold-out stadium tour stops, intricate dance routines that double as arcane, spell-casting rituals. It had all the makings of a spectacular failure, a cringe-worthy, instantly memeable disaster that would be mocked into oblivion. But instead, through a combination of sheer audacity and brilliant execution, it's magic. The film succeeds precisely because it leans into the inherent theatricality and absurdity of its own concept. It doesn't apologize for the glitter, it weaponizes it. It doesn't shy away from the theatrics. It amplifies them to an epic scale. The fight sequences are not just brawls, they are breathtakingly complex choreographies, meticulously designed to flow like a live musical performance. The film's director, a visionary known for crafting some of K-pop's most iconic music videos, brings a distinct visual language to the action. Every sword strike, every magical blast is synchronized to the film's pulsating soundtrack. The sound design itself is a work of art, blending bone-rattling EDM drops and trap beats with the haunting melodies of traditional Korean instruments like the gaegeum. The costume design is a seamless marriage of sleek, high-fashion idol aesthetics and functional, fantasy-inspired armor. It's a violent collision of two disparate worlds that somehow feels preordained and perfectly coherent. And then there are the characters. The film wisely avoids the trap of presenting its idol protagonists as one-dimensional, flawless heroines. Instead of cardboard cutouts, the idols-turned-demon hunters are layered, vulnerable, and deeply relatable. Their supernatural struggles serve as powerful allegories for the very real-world pressures faced by their real-life counterparts. The group's leader grapples with the crushing weight of perfection and the fear of a single misstep destroying everything she's built. The main rapper's aggressive, fiery onstage persona masks a deep-seated insecurity, which she must overcome to master her explosive magical abilities. The youngest member, the maknae, battles the loneliness and parasocial obsession that comes with being an object of global adoration. By wrapping these poignant, resonant themes of burnout, identity crisis, and the suffocating nature of fame inside a high-octane, supernatural battle narrative, the movie achieves a rare feat. It delivers both mind-blowing spectacle and a powerful emotional punch. For the millions of K-pop fans watching, this portrayal is intensely cathartic. They see the struggles they know their real-life idols endure, reflected and validated through a powerful, heroic allegory. For casual viewers who may not know a thing about K-pop, it's simply a wildly entertaining and original action fantasy film. Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Blackpink. The movie. Directed by the love child of Michael Bay and Baz Luhrmann. Critics who had sharpened their knives in anticipation of a gimmicky train wreck were caught completely off guard. Initial skepticism quickly melted into grudging and then effusive praise. A review in Variety called it a dizzying, hyper-stylized triumph of pure pop maximalism. The Hollywood Reporter admitted that the film works because it commits, going all in on its ludicrous premise with breathtaking confidence and style. That unwavering boldness, that refusal to hedge its bets, is what transformed what could have been a cheap gimmick into something unforgettable and genre-defining. Chapter 3. The Fandom Superpower. If perfect timing lit the fuse and audacious content provided the explosive spark, it was the raw, untamable power of organized fandom that turned K-pop Demon Hunters into a global inferno. Netflix didn't just market a movie to K-pop fans. They created a vessel for the fandom's boundless energy and creativity. K-pop fandoms operate on a level of organization and dedication unlike any other subculture in the world. They are masters of the digital domain. They can make any topic trend on Twitter within minutes. They can crash ticketing servers with coordinated traffic. They organize massive 24/7 streaming marathons to push their favorite songs up the charts. Netflix understood this dynamic intimately, and they gave this digital army the fuel it needed to conquer the world. The campaign began months before the film even dropped. The initial trailers were masterfully crafted puzzles, filled with idol-inspired Easter eggs, subtle visual references to real K-pop groups and music videos, and even tantalizing glimpses of cameo appearances by beloved industry figures that sent fan communities into a frenzy of speculation. This pre-release theorizing created a powerful groundswell of buzz long before the film was available to stream. And the moment it hit the platform, the fandom machine took over with breathtaking speed and efficiency. Fan editors, the unsung heroes of modern fan culture, immediately began turning the film's stunning fight sequences into viral TikTok dance challenges. Twitter threads, thousands of words long, meticulously dissected every frame of the movie for hidden symbolism, lore implications, and connections to real-world K-pop history. Fanfiction archives like AO3 and Wattpad exploded overnight with tens of thousands of new stories exploring the characters' backstories and relationships. Cosplay communities, inspired by the film's unique aesthetic, began recreating the intricate demon hunting stage outfits within days, showcasing their work across Instagram and TikTok. The line between the movie and the music industry it portrays was blurred even further with the simultaneous release of the official soundtrack on Spotify and Apple Music. The album, a brilliant mix of original K-pop songs performed by a supergroup of real-life idols from different agencies, and the film's epic cinematic score, was a phenomenon in its own right. These tracks shot up the music charts in South Korea, Japan, Southeast Asia, and even broke into the top 40 in the United States and the UK, giving the movie a powerful second life outside the confines of the Netflix platform. But here lies the true secret weapon: community-driven marketing. Fans didn't just passively consume the movie, they actively participated in its success. They made it theirs. Every fan edit, every reaction video, every meme, and every viral clip acted as a new point of entry for the uninitiated, feeding directly back into the hype cycle and pulling in droves of casual viewers who, seeing the sheer volume of online chatter, felt compelled to see what all the fuss was about. Within a week, K-pop Demon Hunters wasn't just another movie on a streaming service. It was a global, participatory cultural event. Chapter 4. The Future This Opens. So, what does this all mean in the grand scheme of things? Is K-pop Demon Hunters merely another fleeting Netflix obsession, a flash in the pan destined to be forgotten in a month when the next big thing arrives? Or are we witnessing the start of something much, much bigger? History suggests it is decidedly the latter. Look at the ripple effect of Squid Game. A single, masterfully executed breakout show from South Korea completely rewrote Netflix's global strategy and sent every competing studio scrambling to find the next Squid Game. With the unprecedented success of K-pop Demon Hunters, we may be looking at the first domino to fall in an entirely new wave of entertainment: K-pop cinema as a global genre. Already, the rumor mill is churning with whispers of spin-offs and sequels. Industry insiders suggest Netflix is fast-tracking an anthology series where different real-life idol groups would star in their own self-contained demon-hunting arcs, creating a K-pop cinematic universe. Others hint at the development of a prequel anime adaptation, a high-budget mobile game, and even the possibility of a live concert tour where the film's iconic soundtrack could be performed, blending the fictional world with the reality of a K-pop concert experience. For the K-pop industry itself, this is a revolutionary moment. It unequivocally proves that idols do not have to be confined to the worlds of music and brand endorsements. They can be credible, bankable leads in global blockbuster films that attract massive audiences from Seoul to São Paulo. It transforms the very concept of fan culture from a marketing demographic into a formidable cinematic force that can guarantee an opening weekend of staggering proportions. We may see entertainment agencies in Seoul launching their own film production divisions, fundamentally changing the training and career trajectories of future idols. And for Netflix, it's the ultimate validation of their global-first strategy. In an era where the streaming wars are more brutal and expensive than ever, they have stumbled upon a potent, replicable formula: tap into passionate global fandoms, fearlessly merge disparate cultures and genres, and deliver something so bold and original that no one else would dare to try it. What began as a flashy, high-concept experiment may have just kicked open the floodgates for an entire genre. K-pop fantasy cinema, with its built-in global audience and its unique blend of music, action, and fashion, might just be the next great cultural export from South Korea, right alongside its music and television dramas. And here's the wildest part. This is only week 1. If the streaming numbers continue on their current trajectory, K-pop Demon Hunters won't just break a few records. It will set the definitive standard for what global, cross-cultural entertainment looks like for the remainder of the 2020s. The inevitable conclusion: K-pop Demon Hunters is far more than just another disposable hit on a streaming service. It is a cultural landmark. It is the explosive result of a movie that dared to fuse music, myth, and the unprecedented power of modern fandom into something that feels, in retrospect, both beautifully absurd and entirely inevitable. It shattered records because it refused to be cynical, embracing its wild premise with infectious joy and artistic commitment. It conquered the global conversation because it tapped into the unstoppable, communal energy of K-pop fans and gave them a world to play in. It resonated emotionally because it looked past the glitter and glamour to tell a deeply human story about pressure, identity, and finding strength in unity. And now, as millions of fans continue to stream, tweet, and cosplay their way into the heart of this new phenomenon, one thing has become crystal clear. This isn't the end of a successful launch week. It's just the beginning of a new era. The Netflix movie that's rewriting history? It's not hype. It's reality. And the demons don't stand a chance.